This is one of the scariest things that has ever happened to me. This happened a long time ago, back in 1989. I hope I could tell it in a way that conveys just how badly this scared me. I still don't know what really happened or what it was, so I make no claims about the explanation. I still think about it sometimes. I was 19 years old, and I was working at an after-school care program that was run out of a small church in a rural southern town where I lived. The church was tiny and shaped like an L. There was a door at the top of the L. The sanctuary was at the elbow, and another door was at the short end. There was also a full basement that was furnished and used for Sunday school rooms. That's where the kids from the after-school program did homework and played games. Most of the time, we only had about 12 or 13 kids. I think the most we ever had was around 17, which felt huge at the time. Because it was a small church in a small community, there was never any goal of having a big program. It was mostly just a service for the parents in the church. My routine was that I would go to community college classes in the morning, I would work on homework or read until the kids were dropped off by the school bus. I usually had about 2 to 2.5 hours completely alone in the building. Occasionally, the pastor would stop by and work in his office, but most of the time, it was just me. I never heard or saw anything strange, not once. The building stayed locked, and even when the kids were there, the doors stayed locked for safety. I did this for a full year and through the summer. Then, during my second year, my best friend at the time started working with me. She and I were both pretty serious kids. We didn't drink, we didn't do drugs, and we weren't into anything spooky or occult. We were just normal teenagers who went to college and worked. Not too long after she started working with me, something happened. One day, I had the kids downstairs in the basement, playing games and working on homework. Our routine consisted of one of us would prepare snacks upstairs while the other stayed with the kids. She went upstairs to make snacks. A few minutes later, I heard the door at the top of the basement stairs open. Then she came running down the stairs calling my name. I can instantly hear the fear in her voice. I met her at the bottom of the stairs, and she looked terrified. She was not a dramatic.
I heard someone in the sanctuary.
I said, "What? No way. We're the only ones here." She truly just wouldn't let it go and kept at it. You must have heard something.
I'm not kidding. There's something up there moving around. And I saw something. I don't know what it was.
The sanctuary was right beside the kitchen where she had been making snacks. At the time, I was brave. Maybe a little more brave than smart. I told her to stay downstairs with the kids while I went up to check. That honestly scared her even more. She told.
Please don't go upstairs.
Looking back, it was probably not the smartest thing I could have done. If someone really had been up there, I could have walked right into danger. But I went anyway. I walked to the top of the stairs and slowly stuck my head out. First I checked the hallway. Nothing. I then checked all the Sunday school rooms, including the long part of the L, including the pastor's office. And again, there was nothing. Honestly, by this point, I just figured she must have heard the wind. Maybe the building had shifted or settled and made a strange noise. But honestly, next, I just checked the bathrooms at the short end of the building and made sure all the doors were locked. No one had come into the church since we arrived. The doors had already been locked when I got there that day. I was most certain we were alone. But finally, I walked towards the sanctuary. There was a small window at the top of the door, so I looked through it. I didn't see anything. Inside, there were rows of pews, a pulpit at the front, and on the left side of the pulpit was a closed door that led to the choir area. I opened the sanctuary door and walked inside. Slowly, I made my way about. "Hello? Is anybody here?" And then, right after I said that, the door to the left of the pulpit slowly swung open. In that moment, I can't really describe the feeling that hit me. It was like all the blood drained out of my body at once. My legs wanted to run, but they also felt frozen in place. Then adrenaline took over. I turned around, ran out of that sanctuary, and ran down the stairs yelling for everyone to get the kids out of the building. We got all the kids outside and tried to figure out what to do. 'Cause this was 1989, there were no cell phones. Either one of us had to go back inside and call the pastor, or we had to stand outside and wait for a parent or someone from the church to come by. That could have taken a long time. So I mustered everything. I went back inside, went to the pastor's office, and quickly called his house. I asked someone to come check the building. When the church was searched, nothing was found. Everyone had thought we had scared ourselves or imagined something. Like I had said at the beginning, I don't know what opened that door. I don't know what my friend heard, and I'm not claiming it was anything supernatural. But I do know this. Something or someone was in that church with us. And after that,